It's been 2 months. I love this thing. This is the Oyster Cooler. It's aluminum. I love this strap. It's kind of unique. It's starting to get some scratches. It's got a dent inside right there from dropping the ice in. You can open it from either side. Got to make sure you close it. Makes it super convenient for the boat. The ice is significantly thinner than the Yeti ice. This is the oyster ice right here. Done. This is the Yeti ice. Let me show you the difference. Well, this is the thin version. You can see I've got a little bit of a Yeti ice problem. It's this thick. Oh, look at that. I did not even know that. I wonder. No, it couldn't be. But I guarantee you that sucker would keep this thing cold for a long time. It's almost twice as thick. That's one of the ways That's one of the ways they've gotten you more space inside. I'm a Yeti fan, hands down. I got a truck Yeti. I've got these two rolling Yetis. That Yeti right there on wheels, that is a party Yeti. You fill both these up, take them to a party, and it's a good time. These soft coolers are so functional. I actually don't use this one very much. We take two of these on the boat all the time, the bigger boat. One for food, one for drinks. Take them right up to the beach. They're fantastic. This thing has become my go-to favorite for two things really. The flats boat, I'll show you that, and in the car, because here's the situation. Aluminum doesn't hold heat like plastic does. So if I put one of those or one of those in the car, it'll get hot. Even out here in the garage, they get hot. You almost have to bring them in the house for a while and let them cool off. This, you don't need to. It's unbelievably thin. So let's just pull this gasket off a little bit. So right there, that's how thick it is. It's so thin, and it's aluminum, and the top is pretty thin. So that increases your interior space for such a small cooler. But more importantly, aluminum doesn't hold heat. And by the way, I don't think it holds cold the way that plastic does. So it'll adjust to its environment really quick. You put a bunch of hot potatoes in there, and this thing's gonna stay hot. Get hot immediately. Won't cool down the potatoes if you wanna use it as a hot cooler. As far as a cold cooler, I've only had these in here for a minute, and look, the walls, see that? See the condensation? The walls are already starting to be cold. So what I'm trying to tell you is this cooler with this much oyster ice stays so much colder than a cooler of the same size in plastic would. It would melt the ice trying to cool down the cooler. And I love the fact that it opens from both sides. And I've already mentioned the strap. I even like orange. All right, let me show you the unboxing, and we'll take it on the boat. I'll talk about it a little bit more here. The strap, you can see, plenty long enough. The handle, well, I'll tell you, the handle it feels flimsy, but the reality is it's just aluminum and it's incredibly lightweight. As far as the latches, they're aluminum and they snap into this plastic piece. but because it's so wide and it functions also as a hinge, it's a very solid click. The design here is actually pretty cool. You can open it from this. Whoops. So if you have the other side off, that will happen. Let's go ahead and put both sides on. And now that both sides are clicked, as you can see, when you open one side, it opens, stays open. And once this side is clicked, you open this side and it stays open. One of my questions when I was researching this is how well is this seam? Because if you're like me, a lot of times you'll just close the cooler like you just saw me do, and will it seal up nicely without latching? And the answer is it does seem to. So that's just closing. See that? If I push down a little bit, it seals it all the way. There's these two pins. I'm going to use these needle nose pliers, and there you go, pulls it up just like that. It's these two tabs that hold them in place, and if you do mess up this gasket, you just take it off. And then whatever insulation is vacuum sealed in there, and then this seam, it almost seems like tape. I want to pick on it and see if it's adhesive or not. You can definitely put your fingernail up underneath it. So I'm guessing that this is a piece of adhesive that holds everything together. That'll give you some perspective of the size. It's pretty small, actually. Matches the truck. That's a plus. It's got kind of a, I hate to say a garbage can kind of. Here's my garbage can. You see I've got kind of a sticker problem, but it's got kind of a galvanized, it even has the ridges. You can't see them anymore because I've covered in stickers, but it's got the garbage can kind of ridges on it. And I think it's pretty cool. It's got like a kind of a brushed or extruded, get right in it there in the back seat. So right there, this is all the way as far as it can go. And on me, it hangs right about my butt. So that's a pretty good, comfortable place for it to hang. It fits beautifully on the boat. This is my sticker issue. It's probably 20, how many years? Maybe 20 years of stickers-ish. Anyway, you can open it from the back here. It's probably the easiest. So I took this out on the boat all day, and there is actual ice crystals on here. And see how this is still ice. The walls are freezing, and the beer is very cold. Water is everything is very cold. This is after a full day. I mean, it put it probably 10 a.m. and here we are 4 p.m. It's pretty impressive. It's got to be one of the favorite things that I like about this cooler. You just grab the ice. The cooler's been sitting in the garage. Throw the ice in. Doesn't matter if you put it this way or this way. It just goes in. It's just simple. Garage is pretty hot. Don't need to worry about cooling down the cooler first. Let's go get some beer. Got the beers right against the ice. A little water, a little coconut water. Ready to go. That's it. Literally 3 minutes, ready to go. Love this cooler. Some final thoughts. You want to store it open because you can see here it's all condensated inside. I just took the ice out, and what I do is I just put the strap in and leave it like that. That way it'll air out and that condensation won't form little water droplets and you get any mold or anything in there. It's gonna dent. That's just the way it is. I'm kind of rough on things. You've seen my sticker problem, and I will cover this thing with stickers, guaranteed. Interesting, this is pretty normal feeling, you know, like room temperature. This is freezing. I just took the ice out. Clearly, if you don't throw the ice in, it will not dent. Also, if you put this in your car and you just take it to Publix or, you know, the grocery store, or you keep it in your car, you can put regular chilled food in it and it'll chill the cooler down and keep the stuff cold with no ice. So it is potentially iceless. What else? I've had absolutely no problems with the gasket. I've had no problems with these. The only thing that I've done, which I continue to do, is I forget to latch one side and I flip the door open and it goes everywhere and the lid falls off, right? So that's my fault. I don't always latch it on the boat. And earlier in the video, I said that this little bit right there matters. It doesn't. People get a beer out and they just leave it like this, and it makes absolutely no difference. I've never used the handle. I only use the strap. So I have no opinion of the handle. These are actually pretty cool. I got that one in, but they're like a little cam lock of some sort. Ooh. And you just put that there. It does kind of look backwards to me. And then you lock this in place. So evidently you can lock it upside down if you're not really looking. But here's what looks backwards to me. So this thing is just a stamped aluminum with a little plastic thing in there. It seems like it should go on like this, right? That would be the finished look. But it doesn't. Obviously it hits the lid. So they needed some kind of standoff. So it just looks like it's backwards. Not being a direction reader. Oh, I really should have a tripod. Oh my goodness. So, one-handed. And that's what it looks like in there. Anyway, might as well put it straight. That's how it looks, and it's free flow. It doesn't have a drain on it. Oh, the feet. I really didn't show you the feet. The feet are grabby. Like on this flooring in here, it won't slide. You know, Yeti sells the slidey ones. They do not seem to. And how's that attached? Is there a screw in there? I don't know, my glasses, I can't see. So I'm not sure how those are attached, but they are super grippy. It doesn't slide around, which is great unless you want to slide it. I got a scratch right there. Oh, so look at that. That's interesting. There is more aluminum underneath. So this must be coated, powder coated maybe. Because see that shiny mark? That is the color of the actual aluminum. Anyway, I love this cooler. It is my favorite go-to cooler now. It's not cheap, but it comes with the ice. It comes with the strap or the handle. Whereas if you bought a Yeti, you do not get two choices, right? You don't get a strap choice or a handle choice, and you don't get the ice. That ice is rather expensive. So that's kind of a value. It's super lightweight. It is much, much lighter weight than a Yeti. I love it. I love this cooler. I can't wait until it is all dinged up and I've got it covered with stickers. I'll do a year update. So if you want to subscribe at some point, I will go ahead and stick a 1-year update on here. I would anticipate everything being the same. It is just such a great cooler. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. I post new completely random videos all the time, and I really appreciate your support of the channel. See ya.